Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at the Viture Pro XR glasses. So this is a new pair of video glasses or AR glasses that just got released as of this year, June 2024, by Viture. So Viture is an American company that is kind of a small company. I think they had some Kickstarter projects before, and they created these video glasses or AR glasses that came out last year. And I actually did a video review on those glasses already. I thought they were quite impressive because like I've used to like these big, bulky, heavy head-mounted displays called HMDs, which have been on the market for about 10, 15 years, I'd say. Yeah, so I've used a whole bunch of those big, heavy video glasses for a while. Recently, though, we have a bunch of video glasses, these lightweight sunglasses that basically can output video coming out on the market. It really started all with Xreal, actually. So Xreal is a Chinese company making pretty popular glasses like called the Xreal Air. And now we have several different glasses on the market. We have the Xreal Air 2, which I have right now. So I can do a comparison between these ones and the Xreal Air 2 Pros as well. And we have the Rokid Air Max and the Rokid AR Lite coming out soon. And now we have the Viture XR Pro, or the Viture Pro XR. Not sure exactly what the official name is, but yeah. I remember being quite impressed with the Viture before, but I ended up choosing the Rokid and the Xreal over them. I thought the Viture, out of the three, the Viture versus the Rokid Air Max, or the Rokid Max versus the Xreal Air 2, I thought the Viture was the weakest because the speakers are not the best. They're a little bit tinny sounding for me. I mean, they're decent, but they're not as good as the Rokid speakers or the Xreal Air speakers. So that was one issue. Another issue was the size of that virtual display. I thought it was a little bit small. So those were the two main issues with the Viture. However, I did like the color reproduction on it. I thought the colors looked very natural, whereas the Rokids felt a little bit too dark for me. The Xreal does have good color as well. And I ended up keeping the Xreals because they actually had the most pros, I guess, and the least amount of cons. But I also like the Viture's accessories. So here we can see all these accessories here. We have a mobile dock, we have a controller, and then we have the neckband here. So basically this is all the accessories that Viture offers. So I'll tell you about the prices. So the Viture XR Pro, the Viture Pro XR, costs $450 or $460 actually US for just the glasses themselves. If you get it in this bundle here without the neckband, it costs about $590. Right now they have a promotion going on where if you get these two together, it's basically $590 for these two, and then they give you the controller for free, which is sort of a special controller that they did in collaboration with the Chinese controller company 8BitDo. So they include this for free right now because they have a kind of promotion running right now with the Viture Pros. And then the neckband I just got separately because I wanted to test this out as well. This is another $200. So in total, this bundle cost me close to $800. So yeah, $590, close to $600 for this. This is thrown in for free, and then another $200 for the neckband. The neckband supposedly is sort of like similar to the Rokid Station, I guess. It's kind of like a Android TV player that plugs into the headset, so you can play like videos and watch Netflix or just look, yeah, download different apps and stuff like that. I'll have to like test it out. I haven't used this neckband before, but supposedly it's a little bit like just having Android TV on your glasses. So yeah, this whole bundle together is 800, near close to 800, but the glasses themselves is like 460. Now compare this to Rokid's glasses, which are, I think the latest ones are the AR Lite that's coming out soon. That's priced around $500. And the Xreal Air 2 Pros, which are the closest comparison, I guess, to this one, that's priced at $450. So yeah, I guess roughly the prices are similar and comparable. So if you want to get a pair of video glasses right now on the market, you roughly have to pay around $450 to $500. So around that price range. So it's not cheap, definitely investment. But if you are into like newer tech like me, then you might find this interesting. Of course, I have virtual reality headsets like the Meta Quest 3 as well, but that's kind of a separate thing. It's not really in the same category because those are bulkier headsets. So these are more like sunglasses that you put in your head that happen to play video. And they project like an image in front of you. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, let's take a look, do the unboxing, and then I'm going to do a comparison between this one and the Xreal Air 2 Pros, which I also have on hand. All right. So yeah, first you get the sticker here with the Viture Flight. Enjoy your XR journey. anywhere, anytime. Okay, I don't care too much about the sticker, but it's interesting to throw that in with you. So let's actually unbox the accessories first. I actually think that Viture has the strongest accessory set out of all the three major video glasses brands. So out of Viture, Rokid, and Xreal, I think the accessories is one of the strongest pros of Viture because they have really good integrated accessories. So Rokid, I think I already did a video on this maybe a few days ago, but I tested out the Xreal Beam, which is a very kind of an unfinished type of accessory. It doesn't really do that much. So that was disappointing. The Rokid Station, that's an accessory for the Rokid and for the Xreal actually. You can actually plug it into any of these glasses, I think. But it's basically like an Android TV player, just contained within a remote. But Viture has this neckband accessory as well as this mobile dock accessory, which I think is pretty cool. So let's take a look at this. This mobile dock accessory is basically a battery pack that you can plug in multiple Viture glasses to play with friends as well, so you can both experience the same image, and it also lets you play with Nintendo Switch, which normally you can't do because Nintendo Switch needs to be able to have a charger plugged in to output video. And the neckband, as I mentioned, I think is also an Android TV in the box. Then we'll take a look at this gaming controller that they did with 8BitDo as well. Okay, so yeah, so this is part of that package that they offered for the promotional package. By itself, this mobile dock costs about $130 US. But as part of the package, you get a free controller, this one, and it costs $590 with the glasses. All right, let's take a look. Okay, and I've done a video on the Viture XR glasses, the first version last year, so kind of already know what to expect out of this dock. So this dock, I think they updated it for the Viture Pro glasses, but I think mostly it looks kind of the same form factor and everything. So this is what the mobile dock looks like. It's a little bit different because it has like different, I think these little accents here weren't before on the first version. But otherwise, pretty much a similar form factor. It's essentially a mobile battery pack, so you can get more juice out of this when you connect it to your Viture. So Viture doesn't have a built-in, none of these AR glasses have any built-in batteries. You basically plug it into your phone or your laptop or whatever, and it sucks the juice out of your source device. But if we plug it into this battery pack, then you don't have to suck the battery out of your phone or your laptop or whatever. You just suck the battery out of this thing instead. So what this thing can do is it can take in an HDMI port from external HDMI source. That's for anything that doesn't output USB-C through DisplayPort. Then you have a Nintendo Switch port right here. You can tell because it has the Nintendo Switch colors. This one will let you play, will give you video output from your Nintendo Switch, which normally you cannot do. You cannot just plug in USB-C DisplayPort over Nintendo Switch because it needs to have a battery power plugged in at the same time in order to output video, else it won't output video. So they kind of gave you this all-in-one contained solution for it, which is really cool. So you can plug in your Nintendo Switch and it works. I tried it before, it works pretty well. And then you have two slots here for video glasses, so you can also play with a friend. So in case you want to buy two of these, now I don't know how many people would spend $900. You'd have to spend over $900 to get two of them. I don't know how many people would spend almost $900 to, or over $900 to get two of these glasses. But if you really want to play with a friend, play games with a friend or watch movies with a friend or whatever, then yeah, you have two different ports here to plug in your glasses. I mean, it's cool to have the option. Rokid and Xreal do not offer anything like this. So this is kind of a selling point in a unique pro of Viture, is that they have this accessory. Yeah, so Rokid and Xreal, the other two competitors, they don't make anything like this. They don't have a way to plug in two glasses at once. They do have a way of playing through Nintendo Switch, but it's a little bit more ad hoc. Like you need to get like a small adapter to do it. They do also have a way to play through HDMI, but again, you need to have like an adapter or a dongle for that. And they don't have an all-in-one built-in solution like the way that Viture does it. So yeah, I would say this is one of the strong points of Viture, is they have this accessory solution, which is very easy to use. It's just contained all in one. If you want to have a mobile battery pack, you want to be able to play through Nintendo Switch, you want to plug in your HDMI source from anywhere, and you want to be able to like have an ability to play with someone else or output video to another pair of glasses. This is all that built into one device. So yeah, this is a unique, I don't think anyone yeah, Rokit and Xreal, they don't have a built-in like all-in-one device like this. So this is pretty cool. It comes with a USB-C cable. I don't think I need to unbox that. You guys know what a USB-C cable looks like. Quick start guide right here. Take a look at that. Yeah, so it says Viture Pro, and I think this is pretty much similar instructions to on the first Viture. Yeah. Yeah, so you can plug in. This is telling you how to do it with your Nintendo Switch here. So that's a Switch. You plug it in. By the way, if you have your controllers attached to the Switch, I don't think it works. You have to use this wireless controller. So if you have you pretty much have to use the Joy-Cons or the Switch Pro controller in order to actually use it, because I don't think putting the Joy-Cons actually on the Switch would work there. So yeah, you have to be able to use it wirelessly. And then you can also use it with your ROG Ally, Steam Deck. They even have GPD here, which is cool. I own all three of these devices. Actually, I don't own the ROG Ally anymore. I used to have it, but Steam Deck, yes, GPD, and I also have the Lenovo Legion Go. I can try to use it with those, and then you can use them all with the battery pack, no problem. Those don't actually need to have the battery pack though. The Switch does need to have it, but the other, like Steam Deck and whatever, they can just use. You can just use it with the Viture without using this. Viture Pro mobile dock. Okay, so this is newly updated, it looks like. Okay, so this is a new manual because it says Pro now. Pro mobile dock. Yeah, so connect to your Switch. So play Switch while charging, extending its usage time by up to 7 hours. See, and they say remove the Joy-Con. So I don't think it works if you have the Joy-Cons connected to the Switch. Remember there being a limitation for that. So yeah, this is pretty much 2 glasses, 1 screen. Yeah, so that you can plug in another pair of glasses if you want. And quick start guide for this. Oh, this is just in different languages. So anyways, we already saw kind of the quick start guide here. We saw one in Chinese, we saw one in English. So Viture is an American company, but I believe that these are like all done through Chinese contractors, which I think makes sense because let's face it, like if you want to make these kind of electronic devices, you basically have to go through China. Like China is the only place that kind of you can make these kind of electronic devices. Like America just does not have the capability of making them. So you can have American companies designing them, but in the end it's going to be made by Chinese companies. So I'm guessing this is made by a Chinese contractor somewhere. And then Rokit and Xreal are both Chinese companies, so of course they can also do it. Okay, let's unbox the Viture 8-bit DO controller. I wonder what this one's like. This is a special controller that 8-bit DO made. And 8-bit DO is a popular Chinese brand that makes these retro style gaming controllers. Personally, me and my friend are not big fans of 8-bit DO because we find them to be a little bit overhyped and overrated. Like, we found some issues with their controllers that other people don't really like talk about too much. Everyone raves about 8-bit DO controllers, but we find that, yeah, their D-pads are not as good as they claim. They look cool for their retro looks, but their performance are just not up to like brands like other brands like Hori, or even the Switch Pro controller I think did better than 8-bit DO's controllers. But anyways, let's take a look. So I think for me, I know how to use a controller, so I don't think I need to have a quick start guide. But hey, it looks like you can use it with the headband. It says sports connection to the Viture neckband via, oh, I mean the neckband here. Yeah. So voice connection in a Viture neckband via Bluetooth. I'll probably do that. Since I have the neckband here, I'll probably connect it to the neckband then. So yeah, we hook it up to the Switch. So yeah, I'll test this out here. So I'll probably hook it up to the neckband since I also have the neckband accessory here. Okay. This is probably just like a reskinned version of another 8-bit DO controller, I'm guessing. This is just like a special edition of their existing controllers. But yeah, USB-A to USB-C cable. You guys have all seen that. What else we got here? Let's see. This is the actual controller itself. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So I think it's just a special edition of an existing 8-bit DO controller. It kind of looks very similar to the Switch Pro controller. So this is what a Switch Pro controller looks like. This is a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, right? And this is the 8-bit DO controller. It looks very, very similar to the Nintendo Pro controller right here. I think the major difference would be just, yeah, this has this has very specific Nintendo Switch buttons right here, up here, and then this one has, I guess, more generic buttons. Plus this V button. I wonder if this is a Viture special button right here. That's interesting. So yeah, this must be like a Viture exclusive button right here, because I think this has a logo on it. Oh look, it's powering up. And then you have minus and plus. I wonder if that's to adjust the volume here. The star button right here, I'll have to test that out. This D-pad here, which like I said, 8-bit DOS D-pads are a little bit disappointing usually. They'll work for most games, just they're a little bit, you know, they have issues when you're running intense games, like fighting games and stuff. Analog controls are fine, as you would expect. Yeah, like even the D-pad on the Pro controller I think would be better. But yeah, and then the face buttons, a little bit mushy. And this is a little bit stiff. Back buttons are a little bit stiff. So these are shoulder and trigger buttons a little bit stiff here. I think you have a Bluetooth connection button here, and of course you have USB-C here to charge. And that's pretty much the same as on the Nintendo Pro controller. So they really copied the design of the Nintendo Pro controller. And yeah, it even has Viture X 8-bit DO in here. So maybe they did add in some special buttons here for the Viture. So yeah, it might not just be a reskin. I think they might have added some extra special buttons here. So interesting. That's a special edition controller that they made for Viture. It doesn't look like it's just a reskin, so that's interesting. I'll have to test that out. Alright, so now let's do the unboxing of the neckband. And this is sold separately, it's not sold as part of the bundle here. I had to buy this separately for 200 bucks. Quite expensive, but really wanted to see what this was about. In my previous video review of the Vitures, I didn't get the neckband, so actually I've never tested them out before. Alright, so neckband, you download the app, charge it. Okay, so here, let's see. Okay, so here you have a quick start guide, So you got 3 quick start guides. So I guess one is in different languages, one is in Chinese, and then this one's in English, I'm guessing. Yeah, so connect the game controller. Okay, so I guess I'll connect the 8-bit DO controller to this one, but you can play remotely. So one of the features about this neckband is that it can stream games remotely, and that's again something that I don't think Rokid or Xreal offers. So this is again something that's unique to the Viture, is that it can do this remote play functionality. I haven't seen Rokid or Xreal have an equivalent accessory for that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, one of the things I was curious about with the neckband, I think this is special about it. And then you have another USB-C to USB-C cable in here. We've all seen that. This one is a pouch. Okay, it's a carrying pouch. Okay, so that's a carrying pouch for just the neckband, I guess. Yeah, I'm guessing it's just the neckband because I know the Viture is going to come with their own case. And then you carry another thing for the neckband. Okay. Anyways. Let's take a look at the neckband. This is what it is, folded out. They look like this. You wear it around your neck, just like an old school pair of Bluetooth headphones. Remember how Bluetooth headphones, before they were true wireless headphones, before AirPods, they were like companies like LG that made these like wireless, I guess wireless, right? Earphones that you had, like you just wear it around your neck. That was a thing for a while, right? Now you don't see that anymore because there's true wireless earbuds, but yeah, there used to be this thing where like companies like you know, LG and other companies, like and Samsung maybe, like you just wear this thing around your neck and then they have like earbuds that extend from it. Oh man, even Razer I remember made something like that. But anyways, it looks kind of like that, except these ones fold up. These ones fold up for portability. But I think this contains essentially like a built-in Android TV thing. And USB-C port right here. And that's for charging. And then this one connects to the Viture glasses. Now this is proprietary. That's the one thing about the Viture. The Rokid and the Xreal have USB-C in. So technically any device that has USB-C in, like the Rokid Station, for example. The Rokid Station is like kind of this Android TV remote that has this USB-C out. Now, because the Xreal also has the USB-C in, then it can just also take in the Rokid Station, and I can use it no problem. With the Vitures, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because they have this proprietary kind of connection right here. So yeah, I guess this connection is interesting. Yeah, they have this proprietary connection, so you need a special cable or something for it. So that's one thing about the Viture is that they have this proprietary thing going on with this a magnetic kind of connector. And then you have what's essentially a remote on the other side here. So this side has nothing, just speakers, I think. Yeah, speakers. This side has a remote. This is actually similar to what you would see on an Android TV remote. So you have mute, you have play. No, this is not play. It's maybe like a assistant button, I think, some kind of Google Assistant thing. This is back button, home button, navigational buttons, and this is play or confirm. So yeah, this is basically like an Android TV remote, except it's built into the side of the neckband. So yeah, pretty interesting design, I guess. Instead of having you use like a remote separately, I guess you would just hang this around your neck and then you would access it like this. It might be a little bit uncomfortable though, but yeah, you would like access it on the side like this, I guess, while it's hanging around your neck. Yeah, a little bit awkward. I don't know if I like that. I'll have to see how comfortable it is, but I might have preferred just having a remote separately. But anyways, that's the neckband. Folds up like that, I think. Yeah, anyways, I'll have to test it out later. Never used this thing before. But it looks very interesting and unique, that's for sure. Whereas all of like Roku, like station, looks kind of like a generic Android TV in a box thing, but with a remote. But yeah, this thing definitely looks very unique. So, all right, that's it. So that's the controller, mobile dock, and neckband accessories. Now let's take a look at the actual glasses themselves. Okay, so Viture 1 XR Glasses Pro. So this box, I'm guessing, is going to be a very similar unboxing to the original. So the non-pro version, I mean. So yeah, let's we have to get rid of this thing first. This little sticker. Oh. Oh my god. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Now we can open it. Okay, you guys ready? Bam. Opens up like that. Here you have the case. And you have some steps here. Nose pads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Activate the XR glasses. Adjust the rotary knobs. That's built-in diopters. By the way, the diopters features is interesting. That's one thing that the Xreal Air does not have. The Xreal Air and Air 2 do not have any diopters. Instead, if you're nearsighted or farsighted or whatever, you have to get prescription lenses for them, which is of course more annoying than having built-in diopters. The Roku does have built-in diopters, so that one can go up to -60. This one goes to -5D. So just something to keep in mind. I don't need them anymore because I did LASIK surgery, but I know for people who are nearsighted, yeah, this one has -5, Roku has -6, goes up to -6, and then the Xreal Air and Air 2 don't have diopters at all, so you just have to get prescription lenses for those. So you have safety guidelines on this side, right here. So you have a quick start guide, which is basically they ask you to download this app. Let's see how far I get without downloading this app. I don't usually like to download apps. There's just too many stuff to download on my phone. Usually try to keep my phone kind of tidy. Okay, this side you get this. So that was the kind of quick start guide for other languages. On this side you get microfiber cloth, and you get quick start guides in Chinese and English. This one should be English, right? Yep, and Japanese actually. Japanese and English. Okay, so play with the neckband, which I have. You can stream your games. I do have a PS5, so I guess I can check that out too. The mobile dock, which I also have. 2 glasses, yeah, so I don't have 2 glasses. I don't think I'll get 2. That's pretty expensive. Let's see, fully interactive mobile XR experience. Okay, I'm not going to use an iPhone because I use Android. 135-inch Full HD virtual screen. Now, I'm not going to talk about this like virtual display equivalent thing. Like all these different companies talk about this, but the only way to truly know how big it is to try it yourself. I mean, they might say something like, oh, it's a 300-inch, 200-inch, 135-inch, but it's really hard to visualize. You really do have to try it yourself. In my experience, Yeah, in my experience, the original Vitures, not the Pro version, had kind of like a smaller display. And then like the virtual display that appears in front of you is a little bit smaller. Then the Rokid Max had a bigger display that appeared virtually, and the Xreal Air 2 had a slightly smaller display than the Rokids, but still bigger than the original Viture ones. So the Xreal Air 2 was sort of in between. The Rokids had the biggest like virtual display, and the original Viture ones had the smallest. But the Viture 1 Pros say they have a bigger display, and they also increased the refresh rate. So the original Viture ones had was it 60 hertz? Yeah, this one goes up all the way up to 120 hertz, so it's double. It's really great for gaming. That's actually making it quite competitive because the Xreal Air 2s also have 120 hertz, and the Rokid Max also had 120 hertz. And the Rokid AR Lite, they also have 120 hertz. So bringing it up to 120 hertz is really just keeping up with the competition. Now the sound quality, I'm also curious about this as well, because one of my gripes with the original Viture ones was that the sound quality wasn't quite as good as on the Rokid Max or the Xreal Air 2s. And yeah, this one, supposedly, from what I've read, they've increased the quality of the speakers. So if everything is true, if they actually increased the virtual screen size, and if they made the speakers better, then that pretty much fixes all my problems I had with the original Viture ones. So that's why one of the reasons I picked this one up, not only because I wanted to try it, but because it really did fix all my issues I had with the original Viture ones, supposedly, right? This bigger display and better speakers that they supposedly co-designed with Harman Kardon. So yeah, they talk about Harman Kardon here, right? So yeah, they co-designed these with Harman Kardon. We'll see how good it is. But hopefully they'll at least keep up with the Rokid Max and the Xreal Air 2 speakers, which to my ears, the Xreal speakers and the Rokid speakers were better than the original Viture Pros, and better than the original Viture ones, so we'll see. Yeah, hopefully the Pros will, their speakers will definitely be able to keep up. Okay, so yeah, so two things I'm hoping for from these glasses. I'm hoping for better speakers, at least ones that can keep up with the newest Rokid and the newest Xreals, and I'm hoping for a bigger virtual display size. And anything else on top of that, like 120 hertz and stuff, yeah, that's just gravy. Okay, so this is the case here. They really love this orange and black color scheme, or the orange and, I should say, not black, but it's kind of this dark blue color. I'm not really sure how to, yeah, it's kind of dark bluish. It's almost like blue-gray, somewhere in between blue and gray. It's I wouldn't say it's like navy blue or anything like that. So yeah, they have this orange and blue-gray color scheme that they have throughout their products. So anyways, this is what the glasses look like. Pretty much exactly the same as the Viture ones. So in here, you get, this should be the magnetic cable, right? Yeah. All right, so you get this proprietary magnetic cable here. You connect one end to your USB-C source device and the other end to the Vitures. This is another thing that I think might cause some issues for some people, some matter of debate, because having this proprietary connector, right, versus having just a USB-C connector. So the thing is, the Rokid and the Xreal, they have just a USB-C connector, which means you can connect all manner of USB-C cables and stuff in there, so you have a way of using lots of accessories. But the Viture, you pretty much have to use their proprietary magnetic thing, because that's proprietary to them. So yeah, that's one of the things, is you pretty much have to use their cable here. And you also get, let's see, what's this part here? Oh no, that's just a magnetic latch thing. Oh, that's cool. Nothing else, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at the glasses now. This is what the glasses look like. Not so different from the original Viture ones. I think the major difference I notice is that, yeah, like, okay, maybe the lens look a little bit more shinier or whatever, but they do have like this little orange type of this accent here that I didn't see on the original one. I think this one is how you know it's a Pro. So yeah, I think that's the only major difference here. Otherwise, yeah, you see like the secondary pair of lens behind this right now. Yeah, and it has electrochromatic dimming, just like the original model did. That's something that Viture came out with, is the electrochromatic dimming technology. So you have the ability to dim your lens so that you can block out. So you can choose to either like see what's in front of you, or you can darken it so that you can get more immersive. Now this doesn't come with a light shield, unfortunately. That's something that the Xreal has and the Rokit has, but the Viture doesn't have. It doesn't have a total blocker shades, so it's not completely immersive like those glasses are. That's another complaint I had. It's kind of a minor complaint, but that was one of the other complaints I had about the Viture ones, is that it doesn't have the blocker shades, so you can't completely block it out. You only have the dimming. The dimming only blocks it out, you know, within your field of vision of the lens, but outside of your field of vision of the lens, you can still see stuff. So you really need to have the blocker shades to be able to be totally immersed, but Viture doesn't give you that. So Rokit and Xreal had those things, but not the Vitures. Yeah, and nowadays, like if you look at Xreal Air 2 Pro, which is the one I have, they also have electrochromatic dimming technology. They actually have 2 levels, and I think the Viture has that too. So yeah, I think this one they'll add in 2 levels as well. Yeah, basically you have 2 levels of electrochromatic dimming, just like with the Xreal Air 2 Pro. So this technology you're starting to see in other glasses too. Rokit still doesn't have it though. I don't think Rokit has the electrochromic dimming, but the Xreal Air 2 Pros do now. Anyways, that was originally a Viture technology. Now you see other brands have it. You see this magnetic connector here on the back, and then yeah, so you don't see any USB-C. Normally on the other glasses, and I'll show you just for comparison. This is the Xreal Air 2 Pro. Right, so this one has the blocker shades attached. That's one of the things I talked about. So yeah, this blocker shade is useful for getting total immersion. That's something I wish the Viture came with as well. But yeah, this is what the Xreal Air 2 Pro looks like, and you can also see like there's another pair of secondary lens behind that to kind of project the image, just like with the Vitures. And unlike the Vitures, you can see there's a USB-C port on one of the handles here. That's something that you don't see here because you have this magnetic, this magnetic connector instead. That's proprietary. Then you have the ability to swap out the nose pads here. You do have that on the Xreal Air 2s as well, and this is the Pro model. So this one also has the electrochromic dimming. Yeah, otherwise we can take a look. I think the micro OLED Sony lenses that they use here might be similar. Yeah, this one uses the Xreal Air 2s use 0.55 inch, I believe, and I forget if the Vitures use the 0.55 or the 0.65s, but should be pretty similar levels. Yeah, they all pretty much use Sony micro OLED lenses at this point. Now, something that the Xreals don't have is the diopters, so that's a downside of the Xreals. Now, it's not a downside for me personally because I don't need them, but for other people it might be a downside, right? Yeah, the Vitures do have diopters, so you have diopters here to adjust up to -5. That's something the Rokits have though. The Rokits have these diopters as well. They go down -6 on the Rokits. But yeah, something to keep in mind against the Xreals don't have them. You have volume button on the Xreal Airs, and this button here to kind of switch between brightness and volume, and the speakers you can see right there, which are pretty good speakers. The Xreal Air has pretty good speakers, at least better than the original Vitures. The Vitures speakers are right here, a little bit more discreet looking, and then also has the volume / brightness adjustment and the ability to switch between them. So pretty similar controls, just it's on this side here, and Xreal has it on this side. So that's pretty much it. Otherwise, definitely more similarities than differences between these two. Yeah, they both have electrochromic dimming. They both, 1080p resolution. They both have a 120 hertz refresh rate. They both simulate a pretty large display, or at least Viture claims to. Yeah, I'm curious to try out. I guess the major difference would be, yeah, what does the image quality look like on here? How big is that virtual display? And then like how good are the actual speakers? That's what I'm curious about. And then yeah, this one has a USB-C. Vitures, they have a more proprietary magnetic charging or solution, I guess, for the video. Yeah, and diopters are on the Vitures, and they're not on the Xreals. But otherwise, pretty similar. Just when you're looking at these different AR glasses, whether it be the Rokid or the Viture or the Xreal, yeah, there's definitely more similarities than differences. So keep that in mind. You're not going to get one that's like totally different or anything. They just have the minor differences, like, oh, one has diopters, or one has maybe a little bit larger display, or one temperature might be a little bit different, or one has maybe a little bit louder speakers. Like, you're talking about pretty minor differences between them, honestly. At the end of the day, these are all pretty nice, at least compared to the old school heavy head-mounted displays I used to have. But yeah, I can't wait to test these out and compare them. So just wait for my review. I'm going to tell you guys what I think about them. I'm going to hook it up to the mobile dock and test it with Nintendo Switch, and I'm going to hook it up to the Neckband, and also, yeah, try out the 8-bit Do controller. So stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so now we're ready to test out the Viture Pro XR glasses, and I'm going to compare them against the Xreal Air 2 Pros. Both of these retail for around the same price. This is $460, this is $450. Of course, the Viture has more accessories available. The Xreal only has the Xreal Beam, or the X-Beam accessory, which honestly I've tried before and it doesn't really do all that much. So definitely Viture has the advantage when it comes to accessories, because it has the mobile dock and it has the neckband, both of which actually do more than the X-Beam in my opinion. So yeah, we're going to do a few things here. First, I'm going to test out the video quality and tell you guys what I think about the video and speaker quality, tell you guys what I think about those things. And then, yeah, so I'm just going to be watching a video from my phone to do that. And then we're going to test out accessories, like the neckband accessory. I'm going to test that out. And then the mobile dock accessory with the Nintendo Switch. And then we're going to do it with gaming. And test out the 8-bit Do controller after that. Alright, so now let's get started. I'm going to start out with the Xreal Air 2 Pros first, because I'm already familiar with it. I just used this on a recent flight to Korea and Japan. So I actually used this quite a bit, watched some movies for a few hours and everything. So yeah, in order for me to keep the Viture Pros over the Xreal Air 2 Pros, the Vitures will have to be better at something at least, right? So anyways, let's start out with the Xreal Air 2 Pros and tell you guys the baseline essentially. So it would have to be at least in some way better than this one. But just to tell you guys and refamiliarize myself with the Air 2 Pros, so this is what it looks like. If you guys haven't checked out my review of the Air 2 Pros, yeah, I already have that up on my channel. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Basically, it looks like, you know, almost like regular sunglasses, except if you look hard enough, you can see there's like additional lenses here. So something I forgot to mention about both these glasses is that the little button right here, so both the Vitures and the Xreal Air 2 Pros, they have electrochromic dimming. So this little button here can switch between volume and brightness, but it also, if you don't do anything, it just controls the electrochromic dimming. So I think you can hold it to switch between the volume and brightness, but if you just press it on its own, it will actually dim the glasses. And same thing with the Vitures, I think. You can press this little button here to dim the glasses. So both of these glasses have electrochromic dimming, which is something that the Rokid Max doesn't do, I don't believe. Yeah, because I tried the Rokid Max as well, and I don't think it had electrochromic dimming. And I don't think the new Rokid does either. So that's an advantage that both the Xreals and the Viture has over the Rokids, is that they have this electrochromic dimming, which essentially means I can darken the glasses and kind of make it more immersive. Or if I don't darken them, I can just, you know, have it be transparent so I can like see what's going on around me. All right. So the special thing about the Xreal Air 2 Pros is that, yeah, this one has different level adjustments. So I'll hook it up to my phone first. Okay. So yeah, this one has 2 levels of electrochromic dimming adjustment. So the first level, first of all, like the base level is it doesn't have anything darkening the display here, so I can see completely what's behind the virtual display. The virtual display on the Xreal Air 2 Pros is fairly large. I would say it's not quite as large as the Rokid Max. The Rokid Max has the largest. It's like almost, when I wear those glasses, it's almost like entirely covering my field of view. Here, the Air 2 Pros are just a little bit smaller, but still pretty large and immersive. But But by default, these glasses, they're transparent, so I can completely see what's going on behind the display. I know it's hard to show you guys because I don't have anything to hook it up to, but yeah, I can see what's behind the display. And then if I press it one level, then it darkens the top, basically the top portion of these glasses gets darkened, but I can still see like this lower portion right here. I can still, that's kind of still see-through. But if I press one level again, then the lower portion gets dimmed. So basically, yeah, there's 2 levels of electrochromic dimming on this one. First level is just darkening this first 3/4 of this display, I guess, and then the second level darkens the entire display. I guess you would want to use the first level if you still wanted to kind of see, like maybe if you're looking down at your phone, you kind of still want to see the bottom part. But then when you have your phone connected, you're watching a video, then you want the whole screen to be kind of tinted, right, and basically dimmed, so you get the maximum immersion. But then on top of that, the Xreal Air 2 Pros also come with these blocker shades. That's something that the Vitures don't come with, so I can also put on these blocker shades, and that will completely make it immersive. And this way I like basically this part of my peripheral vision is all blocked. If I don't have the blocker shades, I can still kind of see this peripheral vision here, but once I have the blocker shades, this peripheral part is blocked too. So it's totally, this is the most immersive setting for the Xreal Air 2 Pros. All right, I'm gonna play something here, my phone. First of all, the colors on the Xreal Air 2 Pros are pretty natural looking to me, so I do like the colors, and I remember when I compared them against the Rokid Max, I like the colors on the Xreals better than the Rokids. The Rokids are a little bit too dark, whereas the Xreals, yeah, it's just more natural looking to me. So I remember I prefer the Xreal's display over the Rokids display, even though the Rokids display is like a little bit larger, but the Xreal's display just has more natural looking colors to me. Not quite as, yeah, Rokids is almost like it's too dark sometimes, so you can't see some areas because it's almost too black. Like if you're watching a black and white movie, right? I think I was watching Casablanca. Rokid would just darken those scenes too much, whereas the Xreals just show it a little bit more naturally. Speakers are pretty good, they're decent. I remember thinking these speakers are just as good as the Rokids. They're roughly, yeah, it's pretty similar. I would say it's a wash. I remember the original Viture speakers were a little bit too small sounding for me, but the Xreals and the Rokids, yeah, pretty solid speakers. Not the loudest, but still pretty solid. All right, so yeah, these glasses are pretty good. I remember this is why I chose this one overall over the Rokids and the Viture ones, is because the Xreal Air 2 Pros had the electrochromic dimming capability of the Vitures, but it had better speakers, and the display was a little bit larger than the original Vitures. So yeah, this is basically my baseline here. These are the video glasses I've been using for the past few months. The Xreal Air 2 Pros came out just a few months ago. It's fairly new actually, but yeah, I've been using this for the last few months for traveling and everything, so I'm pretty familiar with it. Alright, so now let's test out the Viture 1 Pros and see how it compares with the Xreal Air 2s as well as the Rokids and the original Vitures. Okay? Alright, so with this one I need a special cable for it. Yep, I need the one with the magnetic connector. Alright. I'm going to plug it in, play the same video. Alright, this is what it looks like. I would say they both look like sunglasses, right? Let me take off these blockers there. They both pretty much look like sunglasses, but yeah, I guess it's just a different style of sunglasses. Like you could think of it as that. Okay, and then we could do the electrochromic dimming on this one. Oh yeah, it's on this side. This one has all the controls on this side. Okay. Okay, yeah, so this one only has one level of electrochromic dimming. Okay, so the Xreal Air 2 Pros had 2 levels, remember? So the first level dims like the first 3/4 of the display, and then the second level dims all the display. The Vitures don't have two levels, it only has one level. So it's either the entire thing is dimmed or nothing is dimmed. So yeah, I can either just choose to see what's behind me, or behind the display, I should say. Yeah, so I could either choose to see what's behind the display, or I dim the entire display. Yeah, there's no like half portion or 3/4 portion or whatever. So I guess that's one win in favor of the Xreal Air 2 Pros, because this one has two levels. This one only has one level. Alright, now let's check out the display quality and the speaker quality. Whoa. Let's see here. Okay, so the display and the colors on this display is pretty similar to the Xreal actually. The actual size of this virtual display and the colors is pretty similar to the Xreals, but it's brighter. I think it's this one is like 4,000 nits or something like that. It's a brighter display. Yeah, and I had them both set at max brightness. This is brighter. Also, the speakers are loud. Wow. I'm not even at max volume actually. This is already louder than the Vitures. I think I'm at 80% volume on here. Yeah, if you guys can hear that, like, first of all, the Xreals can't get up to even like 70% of the sound of this, but then if I turn up to 100%, wow, this gets pretty loud. Wow, okay. I'm impressed with these speakers. These speakers get really loud. Much louder than the Xreal Airs, and they sound really good. They have a decent amount of detail. I mean, they don't have much bass, but that's fine. I guess that's the... I mean, you're talking about speakers that's inside glasses here, so there's only so much you can do. So not that much bass, but it's definitely louder and has a decent amount of detail. So these speakers are pretty good. Yeah, I'm impressed actually. Okay, I'm pretty impressed. So these Viture Pros, I would say like in terms of the actual display quality, it's pretty similar to the Xreal Air 2 Pros. Like the display size is roughly similar, and the color reproduction on both of these are good. They're both better than the Rokids when it comes to color reproduction. It just looks really natural. Yeah, and the colors pop a little bit more than the Rokids as well. I would say the advantage the Viture Pros have is that the display, the virtual display inside of here is brighter, and it's noticeably brighter. If the Xreals had about like, oh, I don't know, like how much does this one have? 1,000 nits or something like that. This one supposedly from the website says that's 4,000 nits of brightness. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can say for sure this looks brighter. The display on here definitely looks brighter, like maybe twice as bright as the Xreal Air 2 Pros. And the sound quality from the speakers is definitely better. So I thought the Xreal Air 2 Pros, has pretty good speakers. And the original Viture speakers weren't very good. Like I said, I didn't really like the original Viture speakers, but this speaker the speakers inside this one, the Viture Pros are just, yeah, way better than the original. They're definitely louder, but they also have a decent amount of detail. And just, although, they don't really have much bass or anything like that, but they're still like significantly better than any other video glasses. Like definitely better than the Xreal Air 2 Pros and better than the Rokid Max. So I think for sure right now these are the best sounding video glasses I've heard. Yeah, the speakers get pretty loud, which is impressive. I mean, normally if I'm on a plane, I'm not really going to be listening to these speakers anyways, because it's going to disturb people. Like, you turn out to max like volume and everything, even 70% volume, I think the other person will hear you, will hear these speakers. But yeah, I usually just use Bluetooth wireless earbuds. So I think it doesn't matter too much when I'm actually traveling. But at home, then it's definitely nice to have these louder built-in speakers. So yeah. So far, two big wins in favor of the Viture Pros is that you have louder speakers, significantly louder, and significantly brighter display. The actual display quality is roughly the same, but it's just significantly brighter. So yeah, overall it's a win in favor of the Viture Pros. That's not to mention the fact that this has built-in diopters and the Xreal doesn't. Of course the Xreal has the blocker shades, Viture doesn't have the blocker shades, and this has 2 levels of electrochromic dimming, so it's a little bit more versatile when it comes to that, but yeah, when it comes to everything else, I think Viture Pro is actually win over the Xreals. Alright, now I'm going to check out the accessories. So this is the neckband here. And one thing I forgot to talk about with the neckband is in addition to this remote here, right, see, so there's like a little mini remote section here that you would find on Android TV remotes or Google TV remotes. But also on the top section here, forgot to talk about that, there's a few buttons here. So this one, I'm actually not sure what this one does. Maybe it's the assistant button or something. And then this one is volume, and then this button is the power. So there's a few more buttons up here on top that I forgot to talk about. Alright, so according to the manual or the little diagram here, I'm supposed to wear it like this, hang around my neck just like one of those early 2010s wireless Bluetooth speakers. It's like this. And then I put on my Vitures like so, and then I connect it with this little magnetic cable here. Actually, let's connect it first like that. Okay. Yeah, so you look like this, and then I'll just turn it on, and this is the button here. Oh, you gotta. I think this has a built-in battery, so I don't need to hook this up to any kind of battery pack. That's also why you have to charge this. Yeah, so this like USB-C is on this side. Yeah, this USB-C port is for charging the neckband, so it has a built-in battery. I mean, it's a self-contained Android TV, so it makes sense. It has a built-in battery and everything. Okay, so I'm turning it on now. I'm going to tell you guys what I see, because again, it's hard for me to show you guys what I'm looking at here, because it's using this proprietary connection. So the only way is to like kind of explain to you guys what I'm seeing here. Yeah, also it's pretty hard for me to record what's going on inside these glasses. So I'm just going to explain to you guys what I see. Hopefully you guys can understand. Okay, so it's kind of booting up now still. Okay, so it's booted up now, and what I see on my display here is pretty similar to Android TV, but it's not really Android TV. It's something pretty similar though, like you have like a home app store kind of dashboard thing, and then there's a few different apps okay, so actually it only comes with a few apps pre-installed. 3D player, I don't use 3D, like I don't watch 3D stuff, but 3D player is installed. Screencast, which is for, I guess, casting from your wirelessly mirror casting from your phone or something. User Guide and TV Bro. I don't know what TV Bro is. Then there's a store. So the store here is not this is not Google Play Store or anything. It's their own store. But there's a bunch of apps that you can download here. So there's PlayStation Play for remote play, Xbox Play, which for Xbox, Moonlight, which it says play any PC games anywhere. Steam Link, it says play your Steam games. Then it has a couple other apps, Firefox, YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Prime Video, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Plex, if you have a Plex server, Apple TV. Oh, there's Apple TV here, huh, interesting. Hulu, Crunchyroll, Vudu, GeForce Now, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon Luna, Kindle, just thinking of Kindle, and TV Bro, which is pre-installed. It's a web browser. Okay, it's a pre-installed web browser. I'm just navigating using this built-in remote here. It's a little bit clunky, but yeah, I don't know if I think I would prefer just to have a remote in my hand like this, but you have to kind of navigate it like this. Also, by the way, there's a fan here. Yeah, there's a fan that's actually in this neckband, and it is running, and it's noticeable actually. Yeah, so sometimes if I think if I go into an app, it might go faster. Let me start up YouTube. I'm gonna start up YouTube here because I just downloaded it. Okay, start YouTube. So this is basically like something that's similar to Android TV, but not really Android TV. Okay, I'm gonna just, yeah, I can get a YouTube. I'm just gonna watch a YouTube video on here. Yeah, these speakers are really good. I'm very impressed. They're better than my Razer Ansu smart glasses as well. Okay, so this is actually the home button, I think. Yeah, this is, okay. Whoops. Oh, this is the home button. I think this is the back button. I kind of had to memorize what all these buttons do. This button right here. Okay, this button right here, this little small button on top, brings up the settings. So I can press it any time to bring up the settings. And in the settings, you can do your typical stuff like connect to Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. There's a quiet mode, which limits the fan. The ambient mode. I can change the display and sound. I can change the resolution, zoom position. There's Harman audio effects. I'm impressed with the speakers. It's whatever Harman did in conjunction with Viture. It's pretty impressive. Head gaze navigation. I don't know what that means. Set D-pad direction. Yeah, so those are a few things in the settings here. This one's obviously volume. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it. The fan's actually like going pretty loud. You guys can you guys hear that? I don't know how well you guys can hear that, but this fan's going, man. This fan's going. It's actually a little bit distracting because whenever you're using an app, I think it goes pretty loud. Oh man. I'm gonna show you guys this is what the speakers sound like. Not bad, not bad. But yeah, this fan, man. I'm gonna turn this off. Yeah, overall, so this neckband accessory is interesting. It's kind of like an Android TV substitute. It's not really Android TV. It has its own built-in apps, which I think is they look like third-party apps. Like someone else programmed them, put them on this thing. Like in one of the PS Play is not by Sony. So for example, like that one, when I installed it and I launched it, one of the messages I got in it was like, hey, I'm just a programmer, thank you for downloading this app, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, this is definitely programmed by like, you know, some guy somewhere. It's it's definitely not by Sony. So yeah, it's interesting. So the operating system is some custom operating system that runs Android TV-like apps, but they're not really the official apps. Oops. They're not really the official apps. And like a launch YouTube or Netflix or anything, it's kind of like someone else programmed these apps for this, and it's not official. Yeah, the PS Remote Play app is not by Sony, and Xbox app is not by Microsoft. So yeah, it's some third party that programmed it. I mean, they function pretty similar to the Android apps, but it's not Android TV. So keep that in mind with this neckband. It's a little bit different than Roku Station. So Roku Station actually does run Android TV, so it has the official apps from those companies. But the neckband is not technically Android TV. It's their own operating system that has a bunch of apps that they basically developed. So just keep that in mind. Also, the apps are limited. There's no Google Play Store or anything. So it's just whatever apps Viture put on it. Now, to be fair, there is more stuff on here than the X-Beam, so it still does more than the Xreal Air X-Beam does. The X-Beam to me is not very useful. Like it only has a very few apps, and yeah, it just has like VLC and maybe Netflix, I think. And then it lets you do some stuff with the screen, like like it follows you or whatever. But it really doesn't do too much. The X-Beam accessory doesn't do too much. The neckband definitely does more than that. It's kind of like a pseudo Android TV like interface, but the fans. It gets kind of annoying when I'm using an app. The fans kind of run. and it doesn't run the official Android TV, which means it doesn't have access to Google Play Store. So there is missing a bunch of apps. So I think overall, in terms of these kind of accessories, I think the Roku Station is still the best. The Roku Station actually runs Android TV, doesn't have this fan issue, plugs into anything that has USB-C DisplayPort in, whereas this one only connects to the Viture. It's like a proprietary accessory for the Viture, right? It can't really connect to anything else. So yeah, overall, yeah, it's an interesting accessory, but it's definitely not essential for the Viture. And I think I still prefer the Roku Station. And you can still use Roku Station with the Vitures, I think, if you use this mobile dock. And this mobile dock essentially allows you to connect any kind of video source. Like this one takes in any kind of video out with DisplayPort. So yeah, this one, as long as your device has a USB-C with DisplayPort out, you plug into this one. Or if you have anything with HDMI out, you plug into this one. Then you just plug this one into the Vitures and it'll play it. So technically, you could just put the Roku Station, run it into here, and just run it into the Vitures. So that's possible. So yeah, now let's try Nintendo Switch with the mobile dock, which I've done before. I think this is exactly the same. So boot up the mobile dock like this. I think it's already charged a little bit. Should be charged a little bit. Okay, yeah. Now the light's on like that. Then I connect it. So connect it to a Switch, and this should just work. It's usually pretty seamless. I connect it to the Switch, so I have my Nintendo Switch hooked up right here. Just connect it with the USB-C cable. So if you want to use Nintendo Switch with the Xreals, what you have to do is use this little adapter thing. It's pretty clunky. This is actually a Roku adapter. You got to do this for the Roku too. So you get an adapter that basically one part is for charging and the other part connects to your glasses. And you got to use this if you want to play Nintendo Switch using the Xreal glasses or the Roku glasses. You got to use one of these clunky adapters that lets you charge it, and then the other one plugs in your phones. And it doesn't do all this other stuff. This one gives you extra battery, and it has the Nintendo Switch kind of connection built in. Also lets you connect more than one Viture glass. Also has HDMI in. So I think the mobile dock is sure, it's bigger than this little adapter thing, but it does more. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna plug the other end into the Vitures. So one of the video outs go to the Vitures, and I have to use wireless controllers for this. Yeah, I have to use wireless controllers for this. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, that just works. So yeah, now this Switch is connected to the Vitures. You have to use a wireless controller with it. And yeah, you can just play some games. Now, this has 120 hertz refresh rate, which is a big upgrade over the original Vitures. I'm actually not sure if the Nintendo Switch can output 120 hertz, but yeah, definitely play some games here. Everything works as you would expect. Yeah, I mean this is an easy way to play Nintendo Switch to me. I mean, sure, on the Xreals you can use this adapter, or Roku you can use one of these adapters to play the Switch, and it's a small dongle thing. To me, it's still a little bit clunky. Even though I know it's a small dongle and accessory, but it's a little bit clunky, right? Because you got to plug in a power source here, then you got to connect another cable over to the glasses. But this one is all self-contained because it's basically a mobile dock. It's a battery pack, I mean. So yeah, this one I think it's basically a battery pack that also acts as a video out for the Switch. And also does a bunch of other stuff too. So it's a nice all-in-one built-in accessory, I think. Yeah, so if you wanted to play your Nintendo Switch on the go, what you would have to do is get an external battery pack, connect it to the charging port of this dongle, and then take this other port and then connect it to your video glasses, that's a more clunky thing to do, right? Whereas this one has the battery pack already built in an all-in-one device. So yeah, anyways, that works fine. And now I'm going to test it with the Steam Deck. Steam Deck, I am going to be also testing out the 8-bit DO controller that they included. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, yeah, I can actually just hook this up directly. I don't need to use the mobile dock for this. Yeah. Yeah, I can hook it up directly. So this is my Steam Deck OLED. I can hook it up directly to the Vitures. Okay, let's do it. Alright, I'm going to use the 8-bit DO controller. Alright, and this one should be able to do the 120 Hertz. Oh, I had to press this middle button here. Alright, so I already connected the Bluetooth. Basically, like, it's like this. It really is just like a Nintendo Pro controller. Even at the bottom, it even has like the 4 lights that the Pro controller has. So, it's basically just a copy of the Nintendo Pro controller. But yeah, let's play some games here on Steam. Okay. I know you guys can't see me playing, but yeah. I'm gonna play something here. Yeah, okay, this is like the start button here. I like that this controller's got a pretty good grip. I like the grip. It feels very comfortable. So, I mean, I know they copied the Nintendo Pro controller basically, but it's very comfortable to hold. Yeah, it seems pretty responsive. Again, it's not really for intense games or anything like that, but I think for your typical like AAA title or even like indie game, I think this controller is good enough. Yeah, it's fine. The D-pad's not great, but you don't really use much D-pad in modern games. I think for retro games, that's when it might be an issue for the D-pad. Because 8-bit DOG D-pads, yeah, historically are not really good. Their analog sticks are fine. It's just their D-pads are not historically very good. Yeah, overall, pretty good. Yeah, overall, it's fairly responsive, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, D-pad is a little bit loose. I don't like it. But other than D-pad, it's pretty comfortable to hold, and the top buttons might be a little bit stiff, but everything else is okay. Yeah, this controller is okay. It's actually a nice controller to hold. It's very comfortable. And analog sticks are good. The other buttons are, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna say that for most people, this controller will be fine. Yeah, it's only if you're playing like a Souls-like or some hard retro games or fighting games, then the latency might be an issue, or the D-pad might be an issue. But yeah, for most games it's fine. Yeah, cool. Anyways, Steam Deck works well on these glasses. This 8-bit DO controller is not bad. It's not great, but it's okay. It's going to satisfy most people, and I think the best thing about this controller is actually it's got this nice textured grip on the back, so it's actually pretty comfortable to hold. So, yeah. Anyways, the fact that they threw this in for free if you buy the bundle right now is good. So yeah, I think overall I'm very impressed with the Viture Pros. They definitely put some nice upgrades in here. The main upgrades I think are the 120 hertz display, 120 hertz refresh rate, the brighter display. It's actually quite a bit brighter than all the other video glasses I've tried. So it's brighter than the Rokit and brighter than the Xreals by quite a bit, like double the brightness I think. The size of the display has been increased, so now it's roughly about the same size as the Xreal Air Pro 2s, or the Xreal Air 2 Pros. So yeah, definitely they increased that virtual display a bit, which is one thing I complained about in the original Viture ones, so I'm glad that they fixed that. And the sound quality is improved by a lot. So the speakers actually get quite loud, and they're actually significantly louder than either the Xreals or the Rokits. So these are just the best speakers I've heard in a pair of video glasses, period. So yeah, overall I'm very impressed with the Viture One Pros. I think these are probably the best video glasses that you can get on the market right now. Now the neckband accessory I'm not quite sold on. The fact that they use their own operating system. It's not really Android. It's not really Android TV, but they use like kind of their own custom OS, and they have their own apps there. I don't know. I would have just preferred Android TV. Like I don't know why they didn't use Android TV. So I think with the neckband, I'm a little bit disappointed. I wish they just used Android TV instead of their proprietary operating system, and plus the fact that the fans. Yeah, like it's noticeable when the fans are running, and when you run an app, even YouTube, you'll definitely hear the fans here. So it's an interesting form factor, but I think if you really guys, if you wanted an accessory that you can watch videos and stuff and streaming, I think the Rokit Station is still the best bet. And there's a new version of Rokit Station coming out that lets you do more. Rokit Station 2, I think they incorporate some features from the Xreal X-Beam in there. As for the mobile dock, I think this is a great accessory. I don't think Rokit or Xreal has anything like this. This is just a nice built-in all-in-one accessory. You can connect your Nintendo Switch. You can, if you have another Xreal, right, you can play with play games or watch movies with someone else. You have a HDMI input as well, and it's a mobile dock, battery dock that is. So you can increase the battery life by not sucking the battery juice out of whatever source you use. You have extra battery here. It's basically an extra battery pack. So this thing really is an all-in-one. It's a battery pack. It's a Nintendo Switch video output. It's a HDMI output device. It does a lot of things. So this mobile dock accessory is really good. I highly recommend getting this mobile dock accessory. Yeah, this is probably the best accessory for the Viture. And this extra controller, this 8-bit DO controller that they threw in, not bad. Yeah, it's definitely a controller I think most people would be okay with. Yeah, they actually match the Viture's color scheme, which also happens to be the Steam. Look, my Steam Deck has the exact same color scheme, this orange and black. Yeah, I just noticed that. Oh, it's almost like the Steam Deck OLED was designed for that too. So they got the same color thing going on. Yeah, orange and black. My only complaint with the Viture Pros is that I wish that they included some blocker shades like the Viture does. It would be nice, right? The Viture has this, the Rokit actually has this as well. So Rokit and Xreal give you blocker shades, which make it more immersive. Since the Viture doesn't have blocker shades, even when you dim the electrochromatic dimming, like even when you dim the entire display, you can still kind of, in your peripheral vision, you can still kind of see what's around you. So it's never totally immersive. Whereas if you have the blocker shades, it's definitely more immersive. Blocking that little bit extra of the peripheral view. So that's the only thing. Also this proprietary magnetic connection, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I'm not necessarily against it, but it's just, yeah, I think you can't connect as many accessories to it. But then again, Viture has a really good accessory package here anyways. But yeah, it would be nice if they provided some blocker shades, but that's really the only thing. I think overall, this is my recommendation. If you're thinking of getting Rokit Max or Rokit AR Lite or the Xreal Air 2 Pros, I prefer the Viture Pros. The reason is because of the brighter display, the better speakers. It also has diopters, which is something the Xreal doesn't have. The Rokit has it, but not the Xreals. And all the accessories, like the accessories, even though the neckband is I'm not really sold on the neckband, but the mobile dock is definitely worth it. This is a really cool accessory that's like a built-in all-in-one thing. So especially if you're planning on playing your Nintendo Switch on the go, yeah, this is the one to get. If you guys want to play the Switch on the plane, on a big virtual display, whether you on your glasses, then get this thing. Because if you're going to be doing that on your Xreal or your Rokid, you basically have to bring around a separate portable battery pack, plug it into this adapter thing, then plug the adapter into the glasses. It's just, you know, that's more of a mess. So anyways, pretty impressed with the Viture Pros. So hopefully we'll see what they do next. But so far I'm pretty impressed with the package. So if you guys go for the package, I recommend getting the Viture Pro mobile dock package. It's like $590 almost. I know it's expensive, but I think it's worth it. If you guys care about this virtual display stuff, these are probably the best video glasses on the market right now. You get a really cool accessory, and they throw in this 8-bit DO controller for free. So I think it's pretty good. Yeah, and oh, this is replaceable nose clips, right? Yeah, basically, I think that the Viture Pros are probably the video glasses to go with right now. So this is just something very minor, but I actually prefer the Viture case over the Xreal case. So the case is roughly about the same size, but the Viture case has this little extra section for the cable. So it's this little magnetic flap thing that you can put your cables in. And I just like having that little organizational pocket. The Xreal doesn't have anything, so it's pretty basic and plain. So yeah, still a little minor thing, but I do like the Viture case better as well. So that's it, guys. That's the Viture Pros, and I think these are probably the best video glasses to get on the market right now. If you really want to get video glasses, then get these ones, especially if you want the whole package. And it's not even like it's more expensive or anything like that. It's around the same price as the other video glasses, so there's no reason. If you're looking at video glasses, yeah, there's no even price disadvantage or anything like that. These are costed pretty much the same as the Xreal Air 2 Pros. And it's actually cheaper than the Rokid AR Lite. So anyways, get this. Also highly recommend getting the mobile dock package as well. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions for me in the comment section below. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching.